Os! Welcome back to the Singing Samurai. This is a minute or two with the Singing Samurai. Today's question is about gestures. What are good gestures for singing? Well, there are a lot of different styles of singing, so this is going to be focused more on classical singing, operatic singing, those kinds of gestures, but the rules still apply to any other kind of singing on stage. Gestures need to be two things. Firstly, they need to be natural. If we gesture in a way, no one points. We don't really do that. Pointing at you on stage. It doesn't happen. Sometimes that happens in movies and things. It's awkward. No one really points. If they do, they point maybe with their hand like this, or they indicate it's over there. It's that thing, but they're not pointing. It's not natural to do things like that. Although I can see someone saying, "Oh, the baritone claw," when you're singing. It's not natural either. It's not. It's a goofy thing. And sometimes that happens on stage. Being on stage is one of the most intense emotional experiences, and so we sometimes do things that are quite awkward. And especially in the beginning of learning how to sing, we'll make all kinds of really bizarre and strange gestures with our hands and our body. And so the first rule of good gestures for singing is they need to be natural. They need to be things that we're used to seeing. Human beings gesture with their hands all the time. And so make them gestures that you're used to. The second rule is, as singing is much more expansive than normal speech, it's larger than life, it's emphasized. The gestures need to be emphasized. So they need to be what they are, but they need to be emphasized. How do we do that? Well, every gesture has a beginning, a holding place, and an end. So for instance, if I'm going to gesture out like this, the beginning is I gesture up, I move off to the side, I hold it, I look at it, and then it ends. That's really broken down, so it might seem a little unnatural, but it's a gesture. It's a gesture that the audience sees coming. Like, oh, that's, yeah, and you lead their gaze as you look at the gesture. So there's a beginning place, a holding place, and an end. And it's natural. It has a purpose to it. Sometimes I think singers, especially in the beginning, feel like they need to gesture, so their hands just go crazy and they do all kinds of things. And when you talk to somebody, their hands are going crazy all the time, and it makes you really uncomfortable, because what are they doing? Being crazy. Gestures are natural. They have a beginning, a holding place, and an end. Os!